Hello and welcome to Property Money Trees Maximising Property Values, the once a month show where I break down the steps of how to recognise, enhance and then extract the values in property in order to create wealth. Would you like to find out how you can benefit from the steps of maximising property values? This is even if you don't own a property yet or have a deposit. If that's a yes, then you're in the right place to find out. My name is Patricia Faber, and although many know me for my work as a solicitor, on this show you will be getting the benefit of my 30 plus years worth of experience of maximising property values, experience which has given me a net worth in millions. So who might benefit from listening to this show? Literally anyone with an interest in creating property wealth. Welcome back. Today I want to talk about one of the biggest problems I have found in what I'm doing to maximise my property values, to make sure that I'm creating generational wealth and I'm increasing my income at the same time. And it's been this one problem: finding a good builder. So all of the builders that I've used are so good that they're booked up, most of them, for more than 6 months. But what do you then do if you have something that needs doing now, or you have something, you're buying something, perhaps you're even bridging, so you're paying a lot of money and you need your works started ASAP. Now, some good sense would say wait for the builder that you know, because you know they're not going to let you down, you know what the quality of their work is, and so on and so forth. Better still, if you had a crystal ball and solicitors actually completed when you actually expect them to complete, you might be able to book your builder such that you don't have more than maybe a month or two between completing on a purchase and when they actually have to start work. However, reality doesn't actually allow for that. So what do you then do? Well, if you're not doing a major piece of works, if you're doing anything major, this doesn't apply to you. You need to use someone that you know, someone that you trust, or someone who's been recommended to you, such that it is as if you know them and it is as if you've actually worked with them before. Otherwise, don't go for a major piece of work. Go for something a bit simpler, something that's not going to cost you that much, because these days you could spend your money and not only lose it, but also have to pay for somebody to undo bad work and then have it redone. So take your time, don't rush. Anyway, if all you're doing is a relatively small job, so maybe you are refurbishing a bathroom, or you're just doing something that you can afford to actually kind of like take a hit on what you're spending, I would say one of the places where you can actually try and minimize your risks of doing the works is by going to a place like mybuilder.com. So that is mybuilder.com. When you get there, you will need to register. You'll need to register an account, and once you've done that, you just go and you post a job. So when you go to post a job, you will be asked a number of questions. What would you like to have done? So then there's a drop down box. There are different things on there, from either, you've got a problem with your central heating, you need a new kitchen, you're looking at refurbishment works, you are looking at, maybe building an extension, you're looking at a demolition and clearance, you're looking at different things, it could be kitchens, could be anything. You just pick the one that is closest to what you are doing. And then if you will then be asked other questions. So the last one that I did on there was tiling. And then I was asked if it was new or replacement tiles, if I just needed to repair stroke regrout the tiles or something other. So for new and replacement, let me actually take you through the steps. If you go for new and replacement, then you press continue. It will then ask you how many square meters need tiling. So that could be less than 2 square meters, 2 to 14 square meters, 15 to 30 square meters, 31 to 50 or over 50. Then the next one is a commercial or a project. So that will be, it involves multiple large rooms or properties. Or you could also click on I don't know, and then once you've clicked the one that applies best to your project, it will then ask you, will you supply the tiles? So I normally supply my tiles, so the answer then is yes, and then you are asked to add a description to your job. Now, I honestly would give as much detail as possible. Talk about what you want, talk about, the area, the more or less precise area that you are looking to do. If it's tiling in a bathroom, are you going to add a niche? Are you going to add any extras? All of those things. Make sure that you put them down in your details, because this is what the contractors are going to be looking at when they are looking at your job. And then you will then be asked to give your job a headline. So you can, as in my example, tiling of a bathroom, let's say, then you'll be asked for a postcode for your job. Again, that will just narrow down, people who've said they can work in that particular postcode. That job that you've then posted will go to the people at my builder for them to review and see whether or not they're going to actually post it on their website. Now, once your job is accepted, what you probably will then maybe want to do is you want to add some photographs, because then that will allow people to actually be able to see what it is that you want to do. It will give them a better feel for your job. Now, a really good tradesperson shouldn't actually give you a quote before coming out to actually see the job themselves, but they can give you an indication as to how much their work is going to cost. So if your budget, let's say, is £2,000, and somebody looks at your pictures and your description and they say they want £10,000, you know for certain it's not going to work, so you don't waste your time with them. So anyway, once your job is posted, you can then, if people are interested, they will then indicate their interest, and you'll get a notification to say so and so is interested in your job. So you can then click on their profile, read up their profile, look at their experience, look at their reviews, look at pictures of work that they've done before, and if you like what you see at that point, you can shortlist them. When you shortlist them, you are allowed to exchange phone numbers with that person. And so they have your phone number and you have theirs, and you can start talking. You can start talking to them. You can tell them a bit more about the job. You can ask them about their availability and other things like that. So that is actually quite good. And then if you're allowed to shortlist up to 5 people. Now, it may well be that you'll only get one person showing an interest or 2 people showing an interest, or it may be that you'll have 10 people showing an interest. Anyway, when you shortlist them, you can then, if you decide that you're going to go with one of the people that you've shortlisted, you must ask them to give you a formal quote, and that can be done on the My Builder website. Now, the reason for that is this. If you get a quote, you can actually insure that job with mybuilder.com. I think you pay an extra 20%. They'll work out the fees and tell you how much. You pay that to my builder, the insurance amount, and they guarantee the work that is actually being done for you. And that, I think, is just such an amazing thing about mybuilder.com, because they are guaranteeing the work of the person that you've chosen for the amount of money that they have said they want for that job. And that is just amazing, because they might get it wrong. The builder might get it wrong. They might do a really, really poor job. And what will happen to you if you haven't got the insurance, or you've not gone through something like mybuilder.com? You then will have to pay someone to come and undo the bad work. What about the materials that have been lost in that job? What about the money that you have paid to this particular builder? Think about all of these things. But if you go through my builder and you use their insurance aspect, they will come and sort it out for you. Now, let me just say right now, I have no connection with mybuilder.com. They are not paying me to say this. I don't know them. I use mybuilder.com. But other than that, I have no connection, financial or otherwise, with the site or the business, whatever it is. But I think it's just absolutely amazing, and it can be something that helps us out during this period where very good builders are few and far between. They promise that your work is guaranteed. Now, you can also get tradespeople from other sites. So, for example, checkatrade.com. So checkatrade.com is checkatrade.com. And again, they're really, really good. You can get loads of people on there. Go onto their websites, have a nose around, and you can actually then contact people directly off of Checkatrade, or you can post a job and request quotes. Again, it works very similarly to my builder, but there is a difference. With Checkatrade, as long as you use the contact number on Checkatrade and you keep details of the job and your communication with the builder, if your work is not up to scratch, they give you a free guarantee. Now, I tell you why I don't like, or I won't prefer, the Checkatrade one in all cases. And it's because their guarantee is limited to £1,000. So if your job is for £2,000, it doesn't actually work for you. But if it's a smaller job, say like for £500 or even up to £1,000, then Checkatrade may well be, the place that you want to go. But I just thought I'd share with people today how you might be able to get your work done to a good standard during the crisis of not being able to get really good builders as we used to be able to. And I hope that people find this helpful. It really is a struggle. I know people who've got planning permission to do works and they cannot get good builders for love nor money within a year. And they've already got the property, they've already got planning. This is somewhere that they've bought on a bridge. We need to be very careful. If it's not a big job, it's not a major job, this sort of place might be, where you can get your little jobs done, relatively quickly and relatively to a good standard. And if not to a good standard, it's actually guaranteed by these people. They will make good your losses so that you are not left out of pocket. So anyway, if you have found this useful or helpful, please do rate, please do review the podcast, and I look forward to being here again